I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Monday, May the 11th, 2015. A 19-year-old man was stabbed in the West Bank in what is believed to have been a terror attack. The young man was reportedly waiting at a hitchhiking spot near the Mishor Adumim junction near the West Bank city of Ma'ale Adumim outside of Jerusalem today when a man reportedly Palestinian ran towards him and stabbed him in the torso. The attacker then fled. The victim was lightly wounded and taken by Magen David Adom paramedics to Shaarei Tzedek Medical Center in Jerusalem. Police are looking for the suspect. The IDF announced yesterday that an indictment has been filed against 3 Palestinian teenagers related to the stabbing of an IDF soldier last month. On April the 2nd, if you recall, an IDF soldier was stabbed several times by a Palestinian who was in a group that had broken through a security fence at a checkpoint in the West Bank. The 22-year-old soldier was able to ultimately subdue his attacker and arrest him. The IDF has now revealed that the attacker and 2 other Palestinians had planned to commit a terrorist attack against a bus of civilians once they got through the security fence into Israel. They had knives, 2 gas masks, and strychnine poison and had allegedly planned to gas passengers on a bus and then stab them. Charges were filed against 2 of the 3, including for attempted murder. Lesser charges were filed against the 3rd man who decided at the last minute not to take part in the plot. A Swedish fishing boat is headed to Gaza with the intention of breaking Israel's naval blockade of the Strip. The Marianne of Gothenburg left Sweden last night. It is said to be carrying 5 crew members and 8 passengers, as well as solar panels and medical equipment. According to the ship's website, it is the first ship in the Freedom Flotilla 3, part of the Ship to Gaza organization, which calls for an end to the naval blockade. Israel imposed the naval blockade of Gaza in 2006 after the takeover of the Strip by terror group Hamas in order to prevent them from importing weapons to use against Israel and its civilians. The 70th anniversary of the victory over Nazi Germany in World War II was marked over the weekend in many European countries, and yesterday veterans living in Israel marched through the streets of Jerusalem in full military uniform to mark the historic event. The Genesis Philanthropy Group placed an ad in the New York Times today in honor of the thousands of Russian Jewish soldiers and officers who fought in the Red Army against the Nazis. In an email sent out from the Jewish Federations of North America, CEO of Genesis, Ilya Salida, explained why it was crucial to remember and give thanks to those who fought, many of whom gave their lives for the cause, noting that without their contributions and sacrifices 70 years ago, everything else would have been impossible. Israeli President Reuven Rivlin is on a 3-day state visit to Germany, marking the 50th anniversary of the diplomatic relations between Israel and Germany. Rivlin was welcomed by German President Joachim Gauck. He is also scheduled to meet with German Chancellor Angela Merkel, among others. Israel, meanwhile, agreed today to purchase 4 warships from Germany to protect Israel's offshore natural gas drilling platforms. The $480 million deal was signed in Israel today by Israeli Defense Minister Moshe Ya'alon and visiting German Defense Minister Ursula von der Leyen. Renowned Israeli painter and sculptor Menasha Kaddish has died at the age of 82. Kaddish was perhaps best known for his colorful sheep paintings. His works are not only seen throughout Israel, but abroad as well. His sculptures are on display in the U.S., in New York, Pennsylvania, Texas, and Oklahoma, as well as in Canada, Costa Rica, Germany, the U.K., and Japan. He won the Israel Prize for Sculpture in 1995. He died on Friday in Ramat Gan, Israel. And looking now at some entertainment news, Israeli-born Jewish actress Natalie Portman is set to portray U.S. Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg in a film called On the Basis of Sex. This according to a report in Deadline Hollywood. The film chronicles the challenges Ginsburg faced in becoming the 2nd female justice and the 1st Jewish female justice on the High Court. Portman's directorial debut, A Tale of Love and Darkness, in which she also stars, and is based on the memoir by Israeli author Amos Oz, premieres next week at the Cannes Film Festival. And turning now to our programming for tonight, Monday, May the 11th, at 8 o'clock, the 2015 American Jewish Committee's Women's Leadership Board Spring Luncheon honors 3 women of courage: Irshad Manji, Simone Rodan Ben-Zaken, and Lauren Rogers, with keynote speaker Bret Stephens. Then at 9, Mark Golub sits down with founder of the Susan G. Komen organization, Nancy Brinker, about helping women with breast cancer in tribute to her sister who died of the disease. And at 10 tonight, best-selling author of The Red Tent, Anita Diamond, talks about pitching our own tent, reinventing the Jewish woman. That's from the 92nd Street Y in New York City. And coming up tonight, right after this newscast, at 6:30, the World Jewish Congress presents Lord George Wiedenfeld with the prestigious Theodore Herzl Award in London. That's on tonight's In the News. And that's the JBS News Update for Monday, May the 11th, 2015. I'm Teisha Bader.